Hey, what's going on YouTube? This is going to be the first video on the new channel, Almost Classics Automotive. We're going to start with something simple, quick, pretty easy, just neat little piece of entertainment. This is a free snowmobile. This is a 1990 Yamaha Phazer 2. I believe it's a 475cc twin two-stroke. And it's been sitting for a couple of years. Last tag is 22, I believe. Yep, June 22. So last tag says 3 years, but it could have been sitting for literally any number of years. I have no idea. It's all just the basics. So first things first, any motor that's not been started in a long time, you don't want to just throw a battery on it and start ringing it over. It's not really ideal. You snap a ring. If there's any crap in the pistons, then you're gonna gouge the walls. You're gonna do a lot of bad stuff if you do that. So, and also pulling the plugs, we can see how this thing was last run. So if it was running stupid rich, we know we can check out the oil injection system. If it was running stupid lean, you know, we can play around with the carbs, which we're gonna do that anyway, but this should always be step one on anything that hasn't run in a long time. And these are basically new. These cylinder, I'll call this one, call this two. I don't know what order they're supposed to be in, doesn't really matter. But I'll call one basically new. Looks like somebody swapped it out and maybe pulled the cord, I don't know, maybe ran it once, twice. Yeah, cylinder 2 runs a little rich, so could have been possibly missing on this one. Could have been over fueling on this one, I don't know. Let's check it out. But with those out, this is a two-stroke. I'm just gonna throw some two-stroke oil in it. You can use PB Blaster, Marvel Mystery Oil, two-stroke, 10W30, 15W20, whatever, really doesn't matter. Get some oil down in there. Miss the spark plug hole completely. That's an important step of the process. Get a little bit of oil down in there. Just soak into the top of the piston, seep down past the rings, oil up everything. So when you do go to pull it over, you're not just up and down on a dry cylinder. So this one's kind of nice. It's got a pull cord. Go real slow right here and just nice and easy ring it over. We're not trying to start it right now, just trying to get full motion out of the end. Feels smooth. I don't have any hard spots. Obviously we're not going to feel compression right now, there's no plugs in it. You just want to make sure everything rolls over alright. Don't have any binding, no toughness, nothing like that. And at this point, if I wanted to, I could throw a battery on it, ring it over with the starter. I don't really care to do that, just because it's got a pull start. I want to use it. I'll leave the 12-volt system on its own right now, and also it's I don't really feel like going and getting a jump pack. So where to set those spark plugs? Nothing. Anyone who decides to watch this is going to probably repeatedly see me like set something down and not know what the hell to do with it, or not know what the hell I did with it. Get quarter turn on each. That's all I really go by. You might go off something different, you might not. I don't know. Usually I go finger tight. Got a quarter turn past. Cool. Now, what we could do is we could throw an inline spark tester here, or keep the plug out, ground it out, look for spark. I don't really feel like doing that because it's boring. What I really want to do is throw some fuel down into the intake and see if we can get it just light off a couple of times. So, got a bottle of gasoline right here. I'm gonna mix it with two-stroke because I haven't checked, haven't verified nothing about this oiling system. This was a free snowmobile, so using the utmost caution here. I have no idea what's wrong with it. Once we verify the motor can run, we'll go through and do all the other little shit. It's also worth noting, I don't work on snowmobiles, so I don't really have a clue what's under any of this. So we're probably gonna edit this out. I don't know. We can try. I don't know how to edit. All right, so I figured something out. Like I said, again, I don't work on snowmobiles. This thing popped up for free on Marketplace. I said, the hell with it, yeah, I'll get a snowmobile. As you can see, we live in a desert. It's not snow up here. I don't even know how a snowmobile really ended up in Southern California. But that'd be a pretty good indicator as to why it was free. what we can do, and that's kind of why I'm doing this just quick and not really hacking anything on here, but just going through quickly. As for my previous mention about mixing the gas first, there's going to be enough oil left in here. It's going to keep it lubricated for the couple of pops and cracks we might hear out of it on some gas. So typically wouldn't do this. We just threw oil in there. It'll be okay on just gas. For a couple of fires, you don't want to run a two-stroke on just gas, obviously. Have some major problems. This thing is probably going to start and scream because having this little vacuum overlay thing open, it's basically just having it wide open throttle. Like a third throttle. But anyway. Nothing. Could have fouled the plugs. It's easier to throw a spark tester on it. Alright, this is an inline spark tester. I'm just going to throw this in either one of these, in between either one of these plug wires. All this will do is if we're getting spark, that'll light up. Pretty bright out here today. I don't know how well we're going to be able to see it. So James, if you just want to get down low, kind of shade that thing a little bit, look at it, tell me what you see.
I don't see any light.
No light?
No.
Alright. We're going to have a great time diagnosing no spark. Both these run to the coil. The coil's going to have an exciter coming off it's 1990, so it's probably got a CDI. So, tell you what, I'm going to grab a 10 mil, pull this thing out of here. And then move this out of the way. I should be able to get down and just see where the hell that coil's running to. I don't have to replace any parts. That'd be great. Because I don't want to spend any money on this damn thing. Alright, what I'm doing right now is trying to pull this oil tank out of here so I can get a look down under there at the wiring. Because I know the wire for the coil runs under there. I don't know about anything else for the rest of the bike. I think this video proves a good example for literally anyone who can work on whatever you want. I know nothing about snowmobiles. I'm just sort of tearing into it until I figure out what's up. A basic understanding of how stuff works and confidence to literally just tear into shit. You can work on pretty much anything. Like I said, I don't understand how snowmobiles work. I work on bikes and old cars. Just kind of gonna try to get that out of the way there for a second. So, in this wire loom here, we have, oh, this thing's wired up like every old Yamaha. Nice. What I want to do is I want to test power to the coil. So I'm going to grab a multimeter, throw on there, see if I can get anything ping back. I'm going to test light. No, I'm going to get a multimeter. So I'll ground it to anywhere that looks like a decent ground. The exhaust is almost always grounded. I say almost always. I don't know any circumstance that a header wouldn't be grounded. And yeah, I don't have alligator clips on here. I'm not a professional, just some dude working on shit. Okay, I don't know if that multimeter responds. Nope. Connection's alright in here. We got no power going to the coil. So, it's going to be between the regulator, rectifier, CDI, or back onwards. I seriously doubt this thing is using points. This is too new for that. Typically, on an old vehicle, if you have no spark, it's an issue with points ignition. They get dirty, they get corrosion between them, you can file them down, sand them, and like 9.5 out of 10 times, old spark right off the bat there. This is not that old. It's like about 35 years. So, how are you finding that one? I know there's 2 oil lines down there, but these look like reasonably new connectors. Now, CDIs, have them go bad every once in a while, especially on Yamaha ones. But what happens more than that I've noticed, is the kill switch falls and grounds out. What I want to do is see about tracing the lead back for this damn kill switch. I already don't like the way this thing's engineered, and I barely worked on it. What the hell are you still hanging on to? It's a good two-stroke oil there. I don't want to lose that. Let me see. That is going to be coming off the. That's going to be coming off the stator. Those are the same ones. What's on the XT over there? What the hell? Huh. Alright, you know the button deal. You hit the button for me? Can you hit that button for me one more time? I found the problem. So, off screen, bring it over here. I think I found the problem at least. This button is jammed down like that. Now, I think it's supposed to be spring loaded, it's supposed to pop back up, but it doesn't do that. So all I did was went like that, and it fired up. I also set the parking brake here. These old machines, they have just real simple parking brake where if you pull the brake all the way in, you can snap a lever down, it'll hold it closed. Sometimes there's a kill switch wired into this, and so you can't start it with the, well, no, that wouldn't make sense, actually. Disregard that, that's for starting on one thing specifically. We were trying to pull start it before. Anyway, maybe it'll work. Cool. Alright, so, tell you what I want to do. That actually ran pretty good. What I'm going to do, so oil pump is, or the oil injection system is just removed. The tank is not in it now. So what I want to do is I'm going to mix this up real quick, and I'm not going to be precise about it. I'm just going to throw an amount of oil in this thing and throw that in the gas tank. We're going to try to get the light off. That should be plenty. We're going solely off color here. We don't say it's 16th, 30 seconds, blah 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 blah. Now, if it's blue, it's cool. Throw a little bit of gas in the tank there. And we can find all the places it's about to leak from. So, gas in there, runs down under the tank. This thing has a fuel pump. That's funky. Okay, hey James, you want to come around this side? That is a little baby fuel pump right there. All it is a little diaphragm that'll actually allow, if it works the way that I think it does, that diaphragm will open and close, and it'll actually pump a little bit of gas through these carbs. Which, those are great, kind of, sometimes. But also, those diaphragms get old and crack, and beyond that, you gotta prime them. So, usually they run off vacuum. The position of this one tells me it may just run off the spinning of the engine. I don't actually know. That may not be a pump. It could just be something to split it between the two carbs. Let me see. Yeah, it could be that actually pulls it up out of the tank. That could go down to that could be part of the gas tank under there. To reiterate, I don't have a fucking clue about anything about this bike. So let me see. This tube, excuse me, James. Running up here. Oh, that's the gas tank vent. So, oh wait a second. What do we have here? What the hell does this seat come on? Doesn't look like there's anything holding this on. Maybe up. Yeah, bolts in there. Okay, just do them. Well, no. Alright. Alright, now we're undoing the bolts that I completely forgot about. The nuts I completely forgot about. It studs in the body, runs up through, there's nuts on top of it. Feels like it's just spinning in place. I'm not actually undoing that. Spinning in place? You are going to be pissed. It's not spinning in place. Throw that hardware down there. Now, there we go. Tail light. Don't pull clips by the wires. Not supposed to do that. It's bad. I just did it, but you know I'm not a professional. I wonder if it's just a spring that holds this on there. Jim, can you grab me a flathead? Thanks, sir. Now, most of this process, for me at least, is completely explorative. Because, you know, to reiterate, I've never worked on a damn snowmobile before. So I don't know how any of this stuff is set up. Let me see. There's just a little filter in there. So is it just supposed to siphon down? Huh. I wonder if the tank is supposed to become pressurized. That's how it's supposed to. I don't very clearly see anything else running to this tank, so I'm just trying to throw some more gas in it. James, can you grab the gas can? Slap this thing back together, and I'm gonna put a lot of that gas in it, and I'm gonna try to pull a vacuum on this line here and see if I can't get that thing to pull a little bit of gas through, because my thought is maybe once it starts to siphon, it will just siphon down into there, or once it gets that little split pump, whatever the frick that thing is, then you know, maybe it'll pump itself. I don't know. Like I said, all my knowledge on this thing, I'm kind of basing off of working on mopeds. Because this thing most closely resembles a moped's engineering to me. Don't forget to use your third hand. God gave it to you for a reason. Come on. There it is. Alright. What I want to try to do, get down in here. When you're doing this, you kind of want to be careful not to like drink the gasoline. You're probably not supposed to do this. Like, I'm sure some doctor would say it's bad for your health. Oh wait, I forgot to put the extra gas. It's entirely possible too that once it gets enough gas, it will just start flowing through there because of science or something. Let me see here. side. Tell you what. Does that say pump on it? I know it says Mikuni. I can't tell if that second word. Oh no, it just says core. Bring it over a bunch. We can see if it gets fuel out of one of the carb lines. So, James, again, my beautiful assistant, can you trip that jump pack and make sure that positive side isn't about to ground out?
Turn it on.
Yes. So we have no idea the condition of those carbs. They don't look too bad to pull, but I'm going to avoid it if I can. So let me put that little vacuum split back on there. Throw a little more oil in this tank. That'll probably be fine. Sure, if anyone actually watches this video, someone's going to yell at me in the comments about two-stroke, oh, it needs to be oiled this particular way, and blah, 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 blah. This thing was free. I don't care. I want to fix it and get it out of my yard. If it goes out of my yard to the sand dunes or to somebody on Marketplace, to run free.
Sounds kind of mean.
It does, dude. This thing sounds like a beast. Okay, tell you what I want to do. I want to hook that oil system back up. See if it'll actually pump oil. Well, we'll hook that oil tank back up. And the way I think that works, I don't think the oil tank actually runs on a pump. This is kind of conjecture. I don't think it actually runs on a pump. I think the reason these lines run to it is because it uses positive pressure. But I'm not sure. Let's follow those lines back, see where they go. Far, far away. It's kind of weird to work on. Okay, yeah, they're running that little pump right there. There's no way for me to test that other than to trust that it works. I could pull it apart, but I don't want to do that. It's buried down in there. It looks like to conveniently get to it, I gotta pull the jugs and the heads off these cylinders and the carbs out and all that. I'm not gonna do all that. I'm gonna hook the tank back up and I'm gonna see if it loses oil. If this thing doesn't actually pump oil, we're gonna know pretty damn quick. Well, maybe not, because I just dumped a bunch down in the down in there. Where'd the third line for this go? Just gonna go connect these two up. It's easy because these are nice and slick. It's been sitting here leaking oil the whole time. All right. Down in there. I guess that is just a vent then. All right, we can throw the hardware back in it. Little pro tip: don't do this stuff in clothes that you care about. There's one bolt. There one goes. Alright, there's the oil pump hooked back up. Now this is an idle set screw right here. I don't see any clear vacuum leaks on these, so I'm going to try to fire it back up, see if I can dial down that idle set screw. I'm trying to look right now. I see 2 vacuum plugs there, past throttle body. Otherwise, the intake boots look alright. All the bolts are there. This crossover is still in here. Yeah, it looks like it should be fine. So I'm going to try to fire this back up, see if I can just back down the idle screw. I don't know what a snowmobile is supposed to idle at, but it's probably not 2,000 RPM. James, can you click the clicky clack? Go! I went a little too low. Buy a snowmobile. I have a snowmobile for sale. This thing sounds mean as hell, dude. I would be terrified if I heard this thing coming up behind me, like skiing some nice little slopes. That runs damn good. Interesting. It's weird that turning the thing killed it. But yeah, anyway, so we're probably going to do some stuff off camera. I'll throw a battery in this and a few other things. And, you know, James will edit this video down to like 5 or 10 minutes probably, because that's really all the useful information that was actually in here. Yeah, that's it. That's the conclusion, I guess, the snowmobile runs. I mean, if anyone feels so compelled to see us actually restore this piece of shit, feel free, comment it. If you wanted to see more stuff, we'll be making videos on the Isuzu and on the Altima and the MG and the Infiniti and the Firebird and maybe the Beretta. And I'll do a couple little shorts on the truck, so, you know, just, yeah, anyway, welcome to the YouTube channel. Bye! Snowmobile!